Hey, welcome back to Cubic Odyssey. So, yeah, I realized I didn't get a video out on the weekend. Um, Last week and everything with work was just such an absolute nightmare that I was just so worn out by the end of the week that I just really couldn't bring myself to making a video this weekend. So here I am now, a little more rested and in a better mood. Uh, And as you can see here, I am on one of my ships. And the ship that I'm on right now is Leviathan. And I am currently in editing mode for this. Uh, so this is the ship. It is an absolute monstrosity. Um, the pilot seat is up here on the second floor. Well, there's another floor here, and towards the back, if we go inside, there are like almost three levels to this ship. There's this one, then this one, and then if you come, oh, where is it? Yep, up here. There's another one up here at the back. So there's a lot of blocks that make up this ship. Um, there's the engines back here, and as you can see, there's a hole in the back wall here. And the engines look kind of dark because these five engines and also that one down there. Um, I came along and I took out all the engine blocks and then the glowing blocks that were behind them in these six engines back here. And I've got those stored away. Actually, that's the engine right there, not there. Yeah, so the sixth one is right there. Um, and I've been just picking at this one a little bit. This is going to be a very long process, taking this ship apart and then reconfiguring everything and putting it all back together. Um, I do have in Planet Bane uh, a paint station set up in there, and I've got a bunch of storage cleared out in the ship, and then I've got a bunch of titanium chests sitting in the ship that some of them are empty, and I've got some stuff in other ones. Uh, so the blocks that I take apart from this, and there are going to be thousands of them. Uh, I'm going to just basically fill up my backpack here. As you can see, I've got floor blocks and hull blocks here in my inventory right already because right down here, I started taking the floor apart right here, thinking, I'll start down here. And then I got out here and got looking around and realized, oh, wait, this is on the same level as the bottom of this cube. Now, when you're building a ship, it has to be within the bounds of this cube. So, yeah, I don't want to start down there because what I've got planned is going to be not quite as big as this ship, I don't think. Although it might be. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Um, so it goes from here, which is near the front of the cube, and all the way back to here, which is near the back of the cube. The ship that I'm going to build is probably going to be almost as long as this one, but yeah, you're not going to recognize this. Well, this ship won't exist anymore once I'm done with it, and it's going to look completely different. Uh, the one thing that I am going to keep is a little space around here where the pilot seat is. And this is going to be my starting spot right here, is where this sits. Because of how high up it is right there, how far from that bottom, because I'm going to be building kind of around it here, and then I'm going to be building back that way, And then there's going to be pieces coming off of the sides of it as well. So I'm going to need the room to build in here. The biggest part of it is, of course, getting these blocks out of here because it's not a quick process. Um, so I can only take these blocks out one at a time. So, like when you're building in the game, you can just hold down, you can hold down on that spot, hit shift, and go across like this and just build an entire row. Well, here in the editor, you can only take out one block at a time, like this. So you're just sitting here constantly clicking on these blocks. Um, so yeah, it's just really going to take a long time. Um, I kind of wish I'd gotten started on this a little sooner, but yeah, with just everything that was going on, I just haven't really felt like doing a whole lot. Uh, and so our computer system got a upgrade at work, and that's what has made this last week so uh, hectic at work. Because they basically shut everything down, and we've just been trying to kind of deal with it. They shut it down on Thursday night, and it was supposed to be back up and running today, but yeah, you know how that goes. They haven't even gotten close. Uh, Very few people have got access to anything in the system at the moment. I have access to absolutely nothing. So I can't even do uh, 2/3 of my job right now because of this system being down. And nobody knows how long this is going to take. Uh, because we're switching from one system to another system. Yeah, this could take a while. Probably about as long as it's going to take me to take this ship apart, to be honest. Um, this is, yeah. The last time I did this, when I built the manta ray ship that I did a while ago, uh, the manta ray took me a couple of days to take the ship apart, put all the blocks in storage, and then eventually bring all the blocks back and then just completely build a new ship. Except I did the same thing there that I did here. I left just this one little area around the pilot seat and used that as my base to build the rest of the ship around it. Um, but yeah, this ship is considerably bigger uh, than the other ship. The other ship that I used is the very first ship that you get in the game. Uh, Plus, I took a few pieces from the second ship that you get. And yeah, it was a couple of days. So this one, I'm looking at, ooh, at the very least, if I really concentrate on this and just start tearing this thing apart, you know, uh, we're definitely looking at a couple of days to get this thing taken apart. And even then, I've got to exit out of here. We go back to here. And so now, if we go back into Leviathan and you go take a look over here, so the pieces I took out of the floor are gone, and all the pieces that I took out of the floor up there are gone. And it'll stay like that until I completely rebuild the ship. So the reason I picked this ship is there are only 10 of these little lights in here. I cannot get rid of those lights. I cannot get rid of the pilot seat. And I can't get rid of these doors. So there are two double doors in here, one up there, one down here, and two single doors right here. So that's the whole reason that I picked this ship, was just because of the amount of little lights that were in it and the amount of doors. Because the ship that I'm building, that number of doors and lights kind of works. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, when the new ship is done, this will be gone, and yeah, it's going to look a lot different. Those laser cannons are going to be up over there somewhere. QB, get out of my way. You know what? QB, go to sleep. There you go. Trying to do a video here, and you just keep popping up in my face, little guy. So yeah, those laser cannons back there are going to be up here somewhere, actually right about here on that level, with what I've got planned. Um, yeah. So I just thought I'd pop in, check in with everybody, let you know I'm still alive. Um, and that, yeah, the plans for the new ship are starting. They're just going to take a while. So yeah, it's only 12 minutes. Hmm. Okay, I'm going to get into the ship. I'm going to start tearing more of this apart. And actually, I'm going to leave him just sleeping there. We're going to go in here. I thought about taking Neutron apart, but Neutron has got two single doors, three double doors, and 16 lights in it. So I kind of ruled that one out. I don't want to take Planet Biter apart because it's got even more doors than Neutron does. Vespera, again, a bunch of double doors, single doors all over the place, and just like it is a fighter, and that's the kind of ship that I want to take apart. But I figured, nah. Argonaut, not enough bricks for what I want to build. Uh, Dual Striker, not a bad little ship, but it's a Titan. So we'll see. Transstellar is too small, and I do not want to take Bane apart. I like Bane the way it is, kind of. There are a couple of changes I would make. I made these little wings here for those laser guns to go on. And for some reason, the game decided it didn't like where I put my little wings, and it made another set back here that was one block further out than these and put my guns further back. So we'll have to see how this whole situation with that goes. So if we back out of there, yeah, he's still sleeping. Good. You just stay right there. So the guns used to be right there. I moved them there, and then the game moved them there. So not terribly impressed with that. I've got a whole bunch of storage back here. I've got a ton of metal bars in here because I was going looking for more ships the other day. And one of the ships I was looking for was the Basilisk, and the other one was the Venus. I haven't found either one of them yet. I have seen the Venus once in one of the systems I went to, and I can't remember which system it was in, and I haven't been able to find it since. I would really like to get that ship, though. I've got, oh, just a mess of stuff in here. There's my health station. Uh, this one is just various stuff. This one, I've got some blocks in here that I took from houses and stuff like that. So we've got metal blocks, and I got a whole bunch of glass sheets in here for making glass. And then I've got a whole bunch of sand in here if I need to make more glass sheets. In the storage for the ship, we've got just a mess of stuff on page 1. 2 is mainly this stuff. 3, weapons and tools and stuff. 4 is mainly stone and stuff. 5 is where I'm starting to store some of the stuff that I'm pulling out of Leviathan. So Leviathan had Mark V engine, laser guns, storage, and shield. And those are going to go back into the new ship that I'm going to build with it. And then we've got the glowing synthetic material, spaceship engine blocks, and that's mostly what I've pulled out of it. This is all the stuff that came out of the engines at the back. And then we've got hull block 3s there. So I'm going to just toss all of this stuff in there. And you'll notice there's a little color swatch down at the bottom left corner of each of these blocks. So that is the color of the block that I pulled out of that ship. And actually, if we come out of here and we go up here, you'll notice I have a paint station right here. And we can take this block, drop it up here, and it highlights the color that it currently is, which is a light purple. And it's not what I want. No, not at all. Let's go with that color. So now it changes to that. And then I can take this block out of here, drop it back in my inventory. It looks like that for now, until I get out of there, and then you see the color that it is. So, yeah, I'm going to be dropping a lot of these blocks. I'm going to be repainting a lot of these blocks. And I just hope that when I go to repair the ship, if I repair it, it may just stay in my inventory. I may never fly that thing around. I don't know. When you go to that little station and repair the ship, sometimes it reverts the blocks back to their original color and everything. But there is a reset button now, so maybe they won't. I've got 4 titanium chests sitting here that are all empty. I just put them there a little while ago. There's my bed back there. So yeah, I'm going to be taking Leviathan apart, bringing blocks back here, storing them in these, and then taking a lot of those blocks up to that painting bench and changing the colors on those, and then reassembling the ship the way I want. I can, of course, go into the builder bench here, and that's where I'm going to have to make the glass blocks. So all those glass panes that I've got downstairs in that one chest down there, I'm going to have to bring those up here and make glass blocks, and I am going to need quite a few glass blocks for this new ship. There will be windows and stuff, but when you're, for whatever reason, when you're in the editor, I've noticed they may have fixed it. I don't know. These windows here, the glass blocks that are in these windows, if you try to grab those while you're in the editor, they just disappear a lot of the time. I noticed the last ship that I made, I had to go make glass blocks for the windshield that I had at the front. This one, we'll see. Where is it? There's Leviathan. So I've noticed every time that I log into the game, my qubits over here, I've got 15.7 million qubits at the moment. And that was logging in today. I logged in the other day, I had 13 million. Every single time I log into the game, I get like another million qubits. And I don't know why. I'm not complaining. Uh, just that amount of qubits is going to allow me to buy a lot of blocks and other stuff here at the space station. So yeah, I can go over there, buy whatever I want from that guy and all the vendors over there. No, QB's still sleeping. Good. So if we go in here to modify ship, if I hit tab and bring up my inventory, so this is something I noticed. The system that we're in right now, one of the planets is right there, and there are 2 crashed ships on it. There's another planet right there with 1 crashed ship, and then there's another planet right there with a crashed ship on it. Those are the smoke trails from the crashed ships on those planets. And there's the sun down there. So, yeah, thought that was kind of cute. It's like, I'm in editing mode. Why are you showing up here? Anyway, where was I? Yes. In here. Let's go down here. Let's take this one apart. So I take a bunch of these glass blocks out of here. Before, these glass blocks would just disappear. You'll notice now they're kind of showing up in my inventory, but I don't know if any of these, if I'm actually going to be able to use any of these when I go to put the ship back together. Last time I rebuilt a ship, I couldn't use those blocks. So maybe they patched that. I don't know. We will find out. For right now, I'm going to get to tearing this whole back end of the ship apart here where the engines are, because there's a lot of blocks back here. And get storing those into the other ship. And hopefully this all works. Yeah, because the new ship is probably going to be almost as long as this one, but not quite as tall. And as for width, it might be a little bit wider than this ship when I'm done with it. We'll see. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here and get to work on this thing. And I'm going to try and come back on Wednesday with an update on how I'm doing with this thing. So yeah, I'm going to get to work. And until next time, I'll catch you later.